Is your dig bad?
No. Oh. Yes, dig.
I thought you said your dig did not bite.
That is not my dog.
So assumptive or low-level questioning can bring a process to a halt very, very quickly. But we know how hard it is to get a prospect on the phone. And if your team are getting to the point where they've got someone on the phone and then they're asking assumptive or low-level or surface-level questions, they're obviously doing themselves a bit of a disservice. Now this can be a bit of a minefield here. We have like spin selling, and you have people telling you to use features and benefits selling and insight selling and consultative selling. Actually, I think there's a way that we can just really simplify that. And what I teach here is a 3-step formula, which is probe, confirm, close. And the bit that we really want to focus on, especially with more junior members of your team or those that aren't used to doing lots of business development, is just that probing stage. Asking who, what, where, when, how, and tell me questions. Who, what, where, when, how, and tell me. And making sure that as they're going through those questions, they're not just asking the first question, but they're then going in with secondary questions and secondary depth questions. So there's the what challenges are you facing in the business, or how are you finding things when it comes to recruitment, but making sure that they're following that up with another question and another question and another question to get to the true challenge that the person on the other end of the phone is actually encountering. Once we've done all of that bit, we've probed and probed and probed, then and only then do we begin to confirm and then close. So the confirming bit is repeating back exactly what you've understood. So as I understand it, Mrs. Client or Mr. Client, the biggest challenge for you right now is this, and this is what you've tried so far, and this is what you're finding, and there's this, and there's this, and there's this, and is there anything else? It's a funny question, that, because 9 times out of 10 there is something else and there's additional information that we can get. And it's then, once we've probed, once we've confirmed, then we can begin to close. Then we can give insight. We can say, well, based on what you've said, here's a potential solution. After listening to what you've said, Mr. or Mrs. Client, it might be worth me telling you about something we've done with a similar organisation, or whatever your solution is at that point. But the bit to really focus on, especially with those that are struggling with BD or are new to BD, is just that probing part and making sure that those secondary depth questions are there. This is a great exercise to use if you've got the facility to listen back to call recordings, is pull those calls, listen to them with your recruiters, and make sure that probing is in-depth, the secondary depth questions, and get them to assess the levels of questioning that they're using in their calls.